Bethany Stone, and I'm just grateful that you're here with me. Today is going to be I really actually am excited about this podcast because this one is where we're going to be talking about just finishing life or finishing what we start. I mean, we don't want to finish life yet. We don't want to kick the bucket, but the things that we start, we want to finish. And it is definitely a life skill, really just a core skill to be able to finish the things that we start. So why the finish? Why the follow through? Well, it is a life skill that builds trust with yourself. It builds confidence and it builds momentum through your life. So when you can complete what you start, when you honor your word and you stay consistent with your commitments, you are being honest to yourself and to others. And this skill is part of emotional integrity. Integrity is doing what you know you should, no matter what the cost, because we need to have emotional integrity, spiritual alignment, good physical habits, good social reputation, and intellectual discipline. And when you can follow through, this skill touches every single part of, well, those areas that I just mentioned. So if you've been listening to my podcast, you know that I like to talk about stories, and I love stories and I love songs. And it's hard to follow through. There's a song that I would teach my kids when they were younger, and it was to help them to follow through with things, because how many times do we pick something up and then set it down and don't follow through with putting it where it belongs? I mean, guilty. I think we all are guilty of it. But when you practice that, it becomes less and less. So I teach my kids, if you pick it up, don't put it down, put it away. If you pick it up, don't put it down, put it away. If you pick it up, don't put it down, put it away. If you pick it up, put it away, don't put it down. And simple reminders like that really do help. And so every single time, I don't know if when you have become an adult, the things that you learned as a child, or if you hear certain sayings in your head, when you grow up with those sayings kind of still lodge in there. And so even just by me teaching that to my children, I will hear me sing that song. If I pick it up, put it away, don't put it down. And I'll hear myself singing that. So we have to understand how this happens, though. How does all this happen? Why don't we put it away? What stops us from doing these things? Because we all start things full of energy. Have you ever started out the year with a brand new planner that you used for a week and then sat down? Or have you ever started a diet or a new course, or decided that you're going to I don't know, create a new workout plan and you're going to stick with it? The thing is that the magic isn't in the starting of things. The magic is in the finishing of things. And that's the tricky part. There have been times where I've wanted to quit multiple times in my life. But when you put in the effort, you see the beauty of something. Right now, it's October, and September and October, especially where I'm from, I'm in Idaho, and I have a big garden and I can the things that are in my garden. And it is a lot of work, and it would be so much easier to just not, sterilize the bottles, hand wash all the bottles. and then prep whatever you're going to can. If you're going to do stewed tomatoes or beans or chili or I don't know, so many things, applesauce, cherry pie filling, whatever you're going to can, there is a huge process that has to happen. And it's always great because you have all this motivation at the very beginning, like, oh, you're excited, you have new bottles, everything is exciting. And look at all this beautiful produce. But then the work sets in. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work to prep the peaches. Let's take peaches. Let's can some peaches together, guys. How you can peaches. First, you have to go pick the peaches or order the box, right? It's so exciting because then you pick it up. And then you have to wash the bottles, sanitize the bottles, and put the bottles in the oven. And then you have to decide, do I want to put syrup with my peaches? Do I want to do a honey syrup? Do I want to do a sugar syrup? You have to decide kind of the nutritional value that you want in your preserves. And then you have to then boil water. Put your peaches in the water. Wait until the skin becomes perfect to slide off. Stick them in ice water that you've already prepped in your sink. After you've already cleaned your kitchen, of course. Put them in, take off the skin, cut them in half, take out the pit, and put them in a bowl so you have a massive bowl of peaches. Now, the next step, after you've done all the peaches and you just have a whole bunch of half peaches, now you have to take your hot bottles and your hot syrup, and you have to put all the peaches in. You want to make sure that they're all facing down, right? And then ladle your hot syrup on, make sure that you have hot lids, and then screw them on, and then you have to process them. This takes a long time, but the magic is in finishing. There's been many times I've been in the middle of this project and I'm like, okay, I am done. I do not want to can peaches anymore. But the magic is in the finishing. How nice is it to be in the heat of winter, not heat, the freezingness of winter, I guess, and be able to pull out delicious peaches that you can add that have high nutrients, that you know what is in them, no preservatives, nothing, and it's just clean, and be able to enjoy that. What an amazing gift. And that's a gift I know because nutrients is really important to me. So it's sometimes not always about the starting. It's easy to start anything. The magic, again, is in the finishing. An interesting fact that I found out is that 92% of people don't even achieve the goals that they set each new year. So the University of Scranton did this study, and 92% set goals and are excited and start them and get their planners and all the stuff and do not finish. The benefits of finishing builds trust, both internally and externally. And without building trust with yourself, you start to have self-doubt that creeps in. You have to rise to the level of your goals, or you will fall to the levels of your systems. That is a quote from James Clear. Rise to the level of your goals, or you'll fall to the level of your systems. Sometimes we need to change those systems. Another story that is not a personal story, but a story from an Aesop fable is about a really thirsty crow. And he found a pitcher. And in the bottom of this pitcher, there is water, but he can't get to it. And so slowly this crow drops pebbles in one by one. And slowly this water rises enough to drink. I think about this sometimes because just like how when I'm canning my peaches, it takes a while, little by little, and then pretty soon you're done. Little by little, that crow was able to put in those stones and then get his drink. When we're doing things, it's all about being consistent, persistent, and just finishing what we start, even if that just means drop by drop. So How are you going to do your follow through? So I was thinking about, as I was coming up with this podcast and being like, I want to talk about finishing and following through with things. I was thinking about things I do to keep myself in check. Because if you've listened to my other podcasts, there's one that I have that's called the self discipline triangle. And I talk about what that is because you have to have your why, your how, and then your accountability. If you can have your accountability piece, then it makes it so much easier for you to trust yourself and keep your own word. You need to trust in what you know. So, what I do is every morning I have this book, and I'm almost done with this one. I have to actually probably the next couple of days start a new book. But every day I make a plan and I hold it together. And actually, my plan today was to record. Well, one of the things was to record this podcast. This is not the normal time that I do this, but this was the plan. And this is me being accountable to myself, following through with it and finishing it. Because self-trust is earned by keeping your word to yourself. So when you're trying to do things, remember that you need to keep the self-discipline triangle, because if you can keep that accountability to yourself, you'll be more likely to finish, to follow through. Because remember, anyone can start, but the real power belongs to those who finish. You're someone who finishes. I know it. So prove it to yourself this week and finish something that you start. And when you want to stop, remember, don't stop just because it's the messy middle. Just a little bit of progress at a time is going to make it. So just keep going. This has been another episode of Thriving by Nature with Bethany Stone. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoy my little podcasts about life skills that we can start to implement into our lives, go ahead and like and follow. Or even I have a short series that you can like and follow on YouTube. It's called Hot Takes Mindset from the Sauna. And I am like not attractive in those. I am super sweaty and hair is in a bun, or it is real, but that is just me. So I hope you enjoy these, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.